Motivation is what gets you started. Commitment, however, is what keeps you going. Hi, my name is Peter Snyder, and I'm going to be presenting on the quality of commitment. Abraham Lincoln had a quote that stated, "Commitment is what transforms a promise into reality." Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines commitment as one of three things: a promise to do or give something, a promise to be loyal to someone or something, or the attitude of someone who works very hard to do or support something. Hillary Hinton Ziegler, or most famously known for Zig Ziglar, an American author, salesman, and motivational speaker, he once said that it was character that got us out of bed, commitment that moved us into action, and discipline that enabled us to follow through. Now, why is commitment important? Why and how does it affect us? A commitment is really powerful because it influences how we think, how we sound, and how we act. Unlike the half-hearted hope or best shot, making a commitment means that you should try harder, that you look for solutions when you're faced with obstacles, and you don't consider quitting as an option. But especially, you don't look back. Now, when confronted with a challenge, the committed heart will look for a solution. The undecided heart searches for an escape. If you are truly committed to a goal or result, you will always find a way to reach that point. If you are not committed, you will settle for mediocrity and have unfulfilled dreams. Now, a statement that really I find relevant to obviously commitment, but in terms of an image, a weight balance scale, as seen in the picture. And it says, success comes when you value commitment as much as the accomplishment. We hold high values, or when we hold high values to goals, dreams, or end results, that preparation, training, and level of dedication will really parallel those feelings. And the exact opposite happens when you hold low values to an accomplishment. Now, I want you to assess your level of commitment, whether that be a job, a relationship, and so on and so forth. There's 6 levels. Are you interested? That would mean that you're aware of the basics of a situation. You add knowledge on a casual basis. Are you informed? Do you have the knowledge as a result of persistently studying, but you're still on the fence in regards to not getting involved for fear of failure? Are you involved? Are you knowledgeable and active as a result of beginning to understand the benefits due to positive change? Are you immersed? Do you rise above the rest because you desire more due to your expert status? Are you invested? Are you seen as a leader due to your invested time, your talent, and your drive to improve? And finally, are you innovative? Aside from being a leader, do you look, instead of looking to seek new standards for excellence and performance, do you set new standards? And see there, seeking new versus rising up and setting new standards. Now, when I came across this story, it took me some time to really let it set in and think about commitment in my life. So here's some food for thought. A chicken and a pig were walking down the road together. They passed a sign for a local diner advertising its breakfast special. Ham and eggs, $2.95. The chicken said, "That's our whole contribution to society, breakfast food." The pig replied, "For you, it may be a contribution. For me, it's a total commitment." Now, when looking at the makeup of commitment, I believe there's 5 personality traits that are associated with those who make commitment and stick with them. They're controversial, they're loyal, they're a dreamer, they're tough, and most importantly, they're happy. They're controversial because they're passionate towards their goals and they move in full force to achieve them. They don't really care about what others think or others' disapprovals. They're loyal because they have priorities and they stick to them. Their priorities allow them to steadily work towards those goals. And they value the relationships of their friends, their family, their coworkers, their teammates, all because they surround themselves with the people that are going to help them succeed and support their success. They're a dreamer because they're committed individuals that are never content with success or with mediocrity. They're always pushing the boundaries and looking for new goals to strive towards. They're tough physically and mentally. They're resilient. They're wired to work tirelessly towards their dreams and goals. And finally, they're happy. They're happy because they're people that are fully committed, and people who are committed are generally happy because they have a drive. They have a purpose to live for each day. Each day is a new adventure, working towards achieving their goal. And fulfillment in one's life is a huge aspect to being happy. Making oneself better than they were the day before. And being committed to that. Now we have a general idea of what commitment is. What does the Bible say about commitment? As followers of Christ, the single most important commitment to our lives is the one to God. Any lasting success that we experience as leaders will flow from that commitment. Now, one of my favorite verses that I've always had is in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. And it says, "I've fought the good fight. I've finished the race. I've kept the faith." And this is a perfect example of being committed. You've stuck to it. You've put your head down. And you've achieved your goal. Now, when I look in the Bible, and with regards to commitment, I feel that there's 3 topics that the Bible addresses. Your commitment with God, your commitment to marriage and commitment in your marriage, and your commitment to relationships with others. Dave Willis, in his book, The 7 Laws of Love, states, "Love is an unconditional commitment to selflessly serve, truthfully communicate, fearlessly protect, gracefully forgive, compassionately heal, and enduringly remain in the relationship with and for the sake of others." Now, when looking through the Bible, I found 3 different passages, one with regards to each of those 3 topics. The first one is Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 38, and it states, And he said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment." Jesus is telling us that with everything we have, and in every aspect of our lives, we should commit to loving and serving Christ fully. Just as God has never held anything back from us, we should do the same. The second verse is Ephesians 5:31 through 33. And it states, "For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. This is the profound mystery. But I am talking about Christ and the church. However, each one of you must love your wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband." The Greek word for an oath is mysterion, or mystery. Ephesians 5:31 through 32 uses the concept of commitment between a husband and a wife in marriage, and then compares it to the relationship between Christ and the body of the church. The last verse is Deuteronomy 30, verse 20. And it says, "You must choose to love God. He will not force you to love him." Now, with regards to Deuteronomy 30, verse 20, the same principle applies and is true to the relationship of your family, your friends, your coworkers, and so on. You can choose to love others, but God will never force you to love them. It has to be a commitment from you. Now, why is commitment important to an athlete? One of the greatest coaches of all time in football once said, "Individual commitment to a group effort. This is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, a civilization work." That was Vince Lombardi. An individual athlete that commits his or her focus, drive, mentality, and training to a team. When you have a team that is comprised of those types of athletes, that team as a whole will be unstoppable. Now, I feel there's three principles of commitment with regards to sports. Your commitment to the task at hand, your commitment to your training, and your commitment to your teammates. Totally committing to the task at hand means you are doing your part and doing it to the absolute best of your abilities. That being said, you have committed yourself because you have created a passion and a purpose for it. Totally committing yourself to training involves completely putting your heart, your mind, your body, and soul into the preparation, the lifting, the conditioning, the practices and games. A part of this mentality is creating a mindset that you refuse to give into fatigue, frustration, and especially failure. Now, committing to your teammates, that's twofold. You're not only committing to your teammates, but you're committing to your coaches as well. Now, for your teammates, you're committing to giving your best effort, supporting and challenging your teammates, being selfless, and keeping the best interests of the team in the forefront of your mind. Now, for coaches, you are committing that you're going to follow their standards, rules, guidelines, and especially their values. That you'll be coachable and respectful to not only your coaches but your teammates. That you will give your best effort in everything you do. Now, can you identify with one of these? A golfer second guesses his or her club and can't swing confidently off the tee. A baseball player who second guesses his coach's decision to send him to home plate from third. A tennis player who is stuck between two shots hitting down the line or across the court, but then puts the ball in the net. A quarterback second guesses a coach's play call and changes the play, resulting in a broken play. Or a basketball player that can't decide to shoot or pass, resulting in not taking the open shot. When we can't commit to a plan, we begin to second guess ourselves. We can hesitate too long and miss our opportunity that we have trained and practiced for. Maintaining your confidence and trust in your performance, it's what you've invested yourself in and for. I want to leave you with a motivational video on commitment that I really feel encompasses the different topics that I've covered over the past few slides. And I truly feel this is what commitment looks like in life, in sports, in your relationships, and in your faith. Thank you for your time.